Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Kim. This is my November TBR trail. Hey, so I hope everyone is doing well. Before I start with the TBR trail, I'm just going to quickly go over what I was supposed to read last month and whether or not I completed it. So last month I was supposed to read Game of Thrones, Physics and Philosophy, and The Catcher in the Rye, and also Red Rising. I will just be frank and I will say that I didn't complete everything this month. Who knows why? I had two of the shortest books and I didn't finish them. The good news for me is I finished Game of Thrones. I really enjoyed this, but I'll talk more about it in my wrap-up. That was a really nice thing to read throughout the month. I also have nearly finished Red Rising. I'm so close to finishing. On the last day of October, I was really planning to be completely on it and finishing up Red Rising and also finishing up Physics and Philosophy, which I've also started. And I thought I was in kind of good stead to do that. And then it was announced that the UK was going to go into like another lockdown throughout November and December, and my mind just couldn't concentrate on books. I was just completely wrapped up in watching the news and trying to figure out what was going to happen and things like that. So I ended up failing miserably, which is a shame. But like I say, I'm nearly finished Red Rising. I am enjoying that one. And Physics and Philosophy, I've got a little way into, and I'm really enjoying this one as well. The Catcher in the Rye is the only one that I haven't started, but I know like quite a few people were interested to see what I thought of this and compare it to how they thought of it. So I do definitely want to still try and pick this up in November, but I'm not going to put it on the new game. I'm just going to add it in. And then I do obviously want to finish this as well as Red Rising. So I should finish these in November anyway. Because I didn't finish these guys, I can't buy any books in November, which sucks. Because I want to join in 2 readathons this month. So I want to join in Believathon, which is run by Gavin from How to Train Your Gavin, and it's a middle grade readathon based on a mystery, and you have to go around collecting the clues and things like that. And also Emma from Drinking by My Shelf, she's running the 1,000 Doors readathon, which is kind of choose your own path readathon, and she's running that with Meg and Tasmin, who I didn't know before, but I do now. And I'm going to link all their videos down below to their first kind of announcement videos or the first prompt videos and stuff like that, so you can go and check them out if you want to. But essentially, like, the 1,000 Doors readathon prompts are so vague, you can basically do whatever you want with them, so it's really fun. Hopefully I'm going to be making little videos like about what I end up reading for those readathons, so that should be good. And I'm hoping, because the 1,000 Doors readathon is so vague, I'll be able to fit like all the books in from my game into those prompts at least. Believathon 3 is a middle grade readathon, so I won't be able to do that, but that's fine. Even if I only end up reading one book for that, then I'll be happy. I have come up with some prizes depending on what colour wins TBR Trail, which I will link a video of the rules down below. In my first video I kind of explain everything a lot more in depth, but essentially it kind of works like frustration. So you have the 4 different teams, and it's the first person to get all their teammates around the board once and back to where they started. It's a bit more simplified than frustration. Who knew that you could simplify frustration? It's already very simple, but you can. So I wanted to do some kind of giveaway, depending on which colour wins this round of TBR Trail. But I had to kind of come up with 4 different ways to do that. And so to make it a tiny bit more interesting, I kind of split it up. So 2 of the teams kind of represent me doing a giveaway to one of you guys, and the other half is me doing a giveaway to charity. So I just put it up here and I'll just talk you through the different colours. So if the red team wins, then I'm going to give £20 to a charity, which I haven't decided which charity I'm going to give it to yet. If the blue team wins, then I will give £10 to charity. If the purple team wins, then I'm going to do a £20 giveaway, and if the black team wins, then I'm going to do a £10 giveaway. And I think the way that I'm going to do the giveaway is use Book Depository, because I think Book Depository does worldwide delivery, and that way I think I can do like a voucher. Yeah, I'm not sure how it works. I need to look into it a little bit more, but it will probably be Book Depository. Okay, so that's all my ramblings done. Let's go on to the first roll. Okay, so time for roll number 1. We're starting with the black scrolls. That's a 5, so they can't come out. I need an even number before a scroll can come out of its little home. 5 for the purples, so I can move this one 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So close to landing on the red and sending the red back home. Okay, so it's a book in fiction, so that's one of these guys. Oh no. Read the oldest book published on your physical TBR. And that can go on here because it's fiction. Okay, so the first roll was read the oldest published book on my TBR, and it had to be fiction because I landed in that section, which was so lucky because I looked online and the oldest book on my TBR, I'll show you it one sec. This is the oldest book on my TBR. I mean, look at it. It's The Histories by Herodotus, is that how you say it? Anyway, there's just absolutely no way with my reading pace would I be able to complete this in a month. But this is the oldest non-fiction book, so thank God I didn't have to read that. So the oldest published book on my TBR that I own is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen, and I'm so happy. I love Jane Austen, and it's like the perfect kind of time to read that kind of book, I think. I actually have it on audio, so I'm going to be listening to that one on audio. I have watched the film this year, but for some reason, like in lockdown I watched it, but for some reason I can't really remember it. I think Emma Thompson is in it and it was really good. It was a really, really funny film. But I believe that Sense and Sensibility follows sisters. One is really, really impulsive, and then the other sister is very kind of straight-laced and more to the rules. And it's about them kind of navigating falling in love in the society they live in, where there's all these rules and social statuses that kind of came with that time period. Yeah, so hopefully I really enjoy Jane Austen. Emma is my favourite Jane Austen book, basically because Clueless is my favourite film of all time. So I knew Clueless before I knew Emma. I also like Pride and Prejudice, so I'm super, super excited for Sense and Sensibility. Okay, so now on to the reds. We've got a 6. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so if I bring this red out, I send the purple back home. So I have assigned a consequence to which colour wins the game, so I feel like I should play tactically here, and as the reds, I want the purples to lose. Okay, so they would take this one out, I reckon. 6. Send the purples back. Oh, tough. And the prompt is another fiction, which is nice. Read a book with black on the cover. Okay, so that's another fiction. Okay, so the second prompt was read a book with black on the cover, and for this prompt I'm going to go with Ship of Magic by Robin Hobb. I was supposed to read this last month and didn't. I got quite far into it. I say quite far. I got 250 pages in, but it's a massive book. So that's just like a small dent. But yeah, I ended up stopping because I had other things I wanted to read, and I didn't want to really rush through it because I really, really got into it a lot, and I didn't want to kind of rush it too much, even though this month I'm probably going to have to rush it anyway. So this book mainly kind of follows the Vestrit family, which are the kind of head of the household is a captain of a ship, and he's a captain of a live ship. Which has been in his family for a couple of generations. So live ships kind of stay within the family, and once the 3rd generation captain has died upon the decks, then it comes to life. It's made of this thing called wizard wood, which can kind of suck life into it and then come to life. You're also following a pirate called Kenneth. He has his own personal mission that he's working on, and for that he wants a live ship. So I'm pretty sure that's where the two paths are going to cross between Kenneth and the Vestrit family. Althea Vestrit is one of the characters that you see from like their point of view, I guess. And she has a terrible relationship with her brother-in-law, Kyle. And I can't tell you how much I hate Kyle. So this was actually one of the reasons that I stopped reading it when I did. Not because I don't want to read it because I hate Kyle, but because I was in the kitchen listening, because I have this is on script as well, so that's quite lucky. So I read it and listen to it depending on my mood. But yeah, and there was a scene with Kyle that made me like physically angry. I felt anger like you do in real life with real people. And then that's when I kind of realised that I didn't want to like rush through it while I was reading Game of Thrones as well, and like not confuse the two because I know Game of Thrones very well, but like yeah, I didn't want to just get distracted from this by other things. There's not a lot of books where that happens to me, where I have those physically strong emotions about characters. But I feel like Robin Hobb, she just writes characters so well, and if you haven't read any Robin Hobb, I would highly recommend it. It is a very slow read because she's so in-depth of everything, but like I say, it's kind of good because of that slow pacedness, and because the characters are so in-depth, and I feel like it pulls out those emotions from you because you're so invested in everything. But yeah, so very excited to read this one. And obviously there's like black on the cover, so that's why I chose this. And now, right, what colour were we on? Red. So now we're on to the blues. So 6 again, nice. So I can take another blue out. So where's this one going to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. A candle is kind of more interesting prompt-wise. Or I can take another blue out. And then it's another regular book. But they're both free choice, so that's good. I feel like really we want the blues to have more out, because there's a high chance of winning. So makes sense to take another one out. So that's what I'm going to do. And then the prompt is, read the newest book in this category that you own. Okay, so that was for the blues. Team Blue, but it is free choice, so it goes here. Okay, so then I got read the newest book in this category that you own, and the category was free choice. So that basically means read the newest book that you own. The newest book that I own has come from Life's Library, which is a book club run by John Green and Rosianna. So every month you get sent a book, and there's a Discord where you can chat to everybody, and they interview the authors and things like that. For some reason, I haven't managed to grasp properly how to interact on the Discord, so I feel like my experience with Life's Library hasn't been very good. And I don't think I will continue it when my subscription ends. It was quite expensive because I get them sent. So I don't think I'm going to do that again. But they do audio versions and ebook versions as well. And if you can get into Discord and into the discussions, I'm sure it's like totally worth it. But for some reason, I can't get myself into it. Anyway, so the last book that they sent me was On Immunity and Inoculation by Ula Biss. And this one was actually chosen by Celeste Ng as like a guest person to choose a book for that month, or I think it's every 6 weeks or something we get a book. Yeah, and she basically said that she chose it because of COVID-19, and this really like promotes vaccinations. It says it was one of the 10 best books by New York Times in 2014 there. I'm just going to read, because other than being on like vaccines, I don't really know, it doesn't really say much else. And it just kind of starts. It's got loads and loads of reviews, and like inside, just like loads and loads of reviews saying that it's really good. I guess it's really good. I don't know, I'm really apprehensive about this because I have health anxiety, and I know this is about vaccinations, so I guess it's a good thing. But also I'm so over thinking about the pandemic and all of that stuff that I don't really want to read this right now. I was kind of disappointed when this was the book, really. But it's got so many good reviews, like actually on the book itself, that hopefully it's going to be worth it. If anything, it's short, so even if I hate it, I should fly through it because the text is quite large as well, so that's one thing. And maybe I'll love it and want everybody to read it, who knows. Okay, so that was the blues turn. So the final roll, we're back with Team Black, and let's hope I roll it. Oh, no, didn't roll an even, so they can't come out. Okay, so let's try purple. 5, so now they're stuck as well. So it looks like red and blues seem to be winning at the moment. Okay, so reds again, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, I could send that one back as well. Oh, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I'm not going to send the blue back. I'm going to move this one and land on a cat. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the cats are the rarest prompts of all. So they correspond to this prompt, these prompts here. And the middle one is for the candles. So let's see what this is. I got Dad Pick. Okay, so Dad Pick is on free choice. Oh, that's not so bad. Okay, so the final prompt was my father's recommendation. And first of all, I was gonna like pile up my books, that I want to read, send him a picture, and then he could pick from that. And then I felt that maybe that was a cheat, so I didn't end up doing that. I have on Goodreads just like every book that I own. I think it's pretty much up to date. Maybe there's a few things missing. So I sent that to him to pick from. And he deliberated and came back with 2 options for me, which was nice of him. He came back with The Radium Girls by Kate Moore, which follows the story of women workers in the First World War who were painting like clock faces and things like that with radium, which is very harmful for you. And this is the story of them becoming very sick from working with radium, and then the way that the company treated them, and I think tried to deny everything. And I guess they just wanted justice for what happened to them and for the company to acknowledge what had happened to them. And it's that story. And I've heard really, really good things about this. Like, a lot of people have found it very enraging, understandably. So yeah, this is definitely a book that I am very, very interested in reading. The other option my dad said was My Inventions and Other Writings by Nikola Tesla. So this is literally Nikola Tesla talking about his inventions. And it's as simple as that. I think Nikola Tesla was around at the time of Thomas Edison, and he had a big rivalry with Thomas Edison. And I think essentially Thomas Edison was way more powerful than Tesla, and so it didn't end well for Tesla. I do have a biography of Tesla, which I do want to read one day as well, because I'm really intrigued to know more about his story. So yeah, it's between this one, and I think purely just based on the size of the books and the fact that I haven't won a TBR trail yet, I'm going to pick the Nikola Tesla, My Inventions and Other Writings. I really do want to read Radium Girls, but I also have the Robin Hood book on my TBR this month, and also it's quite nice to have shorter books on my TBR, so if I can read them for the 1,000 Doors readathon, then I'll be able to get hopefully through it. So yeah, so that's everything at the moment. Technically I am also supposed to read The Mad Ship. No, is this right? That's not right. That's not the next. Yeah, that's the next one. Yeah, book 2, which is the second book to The Ship of Magic. Because I'm reading this for the read along that is run by Becca in the Books, she's running her live show at the end of this month, I think into December, and I really want to be there for that, because I think I'm really, really going to want to discuss it. And the other book that I want to try and read in November is finishing my Bacardi book, which is about the Bacardi family in Cuba, and I'm reading this as part of my books that I want to read about Cuba for my Expedition Through Pages challenge, where currently I'm at the rate of reading books from one country per year, which is not efficient in any stretch of the imagination. So anyway, this is also a massive book, but if I can read at least some of it, then hopefully I'll be on track to finishing Cuba at least in 2020, which would be great. And then I can move on to my next country, which is Cambodia. And I do have a couple of books lined up for that already, but I'll do a separate video about my Cambodian reads that I want to read in 2021. Right, so that's everything from me. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are all doing okay and that you're excited for November. Let me know what you're reading in November, and let me know if you've picked up any of these books and there's any that you're super excited for me to read, or any that you think, oh, why are you wasting your time reading that? Yeah, so let me know. Thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, guys. Bye.